Okay, madam.
I almost missed my deadline.
It'll be fine. Everything's fine.
Oh, I gotta put my headphones in so there's no echo. Sorry, everybody. Give me a second.
We should probably do that. There's two of me.
Is there two of you?
I mean, I can't tell because I muted the stream, so I couldn't hear two of me. But they're probably.
Sorry, everybody. Give me 1 second. Jessi just needs to stop talking for a minute.
Okay.
Give me a second. Okay. All right. I can't hear you, so don't say shit. Okay, I'm here. Say something.
Okay. Can you hear me still?
Okay, make sure.
Testing. Can you hear me?
There we go. Okay, sorry about that. I was so enamored with the picture I'm about to draw for everybody today that it completely slipped my mind that, hey, you know what you have to do, Mel? Start the fucking stream. And I was like, oh. And now that I've dropped the F-bomb within the first minute, we're definitely not getting monetized if we, as if that was ever a problem to begin with, but,
No. I found a new fireplace design for Minecraft. This probably would never work because it's got wood in it. How is this working?
Magic?
You know what? That's a mystery for another day.
That is, you need to get off so we can stream.
Fine, I will put the Pinterest down.
Pinterest.
Okay.
Oh, it's a Whitney. After stream, I need to know about those dinglies. No context, just I need to know about the dinglies.
Hi, Whitney. How are you today?
Totally not me continuing on with the skeleton of today's theme.
Just the skeleton, though?
Well, so far it's just a skeleton.
Huh?
Because I'm doing a very naughty thing and not choosing a real life reference. I'm choosing a game reference.
Is that naughty?
It feels cheating.
Oh, okay.
It definitely feels like it's cheating. It's okay. It's okay though.
If you wouldn't feel like that's cheating, I won't tell you it's not.
I appreciate that question mark.
So I'm kind of wandering around my anime backlog.
Oh yeah? And?
Yeah, testing some things out, marking some things off. Found a Chinese one that I watched 2 episodes of, and I was like, you know what? This is garbage.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So I'm going to mark that one off. What was I watching the other day? I finally started watching it, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is... Shouldn't have started watching this. I'll be watching it forever.
Dan?
No, I finished Dan.
Oh.
I binged that shit in 2 days.
Oh. Did you really?
I sure did. There's only like 12 episodes.
Yeah, because there's a manga, but yeah, Whitney's been trying to get me to read the manga, and honestly, I might actually read the manga.
I'm gonna have to pick up a couple manga for some things I've been reading too. Or watching. Well, it's one I don't have on my list, actually, I think. I'd have to log into my Crunchyroll to find out what it is.
I'm going to be guessing on a pose, which is also, like, a no-no thing for me to do. But...
You'll figure it out. I believe in you.
Yeah. Hopefully it actually, like, works out for me. But we'll see. That might actually be too close to the body. Oh, great. Well, if it starts storming here, I might have to actually put up my storming disconnect thing.
Oh, did it start?
It's starting in the valley. It's not here yet.
I mean, you might as well. When we start streaming, you might as well actually just throw it up.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe this is...
Oh, shoot. Now it's my turn to have something in my eye.
I could say something, but it would automatically, like, draw him in. And you know who I'm talking about.
No, he has chores to do. He's not at the house.
He has chores to do. He has chores?
Yeah, remember they were going to pick up a dog and stuff?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna finish this skeleton real quick of this character, and then I can get out of this. I'm just trying to, like, figure out feats and stuff. She might actually be too big.
How much is it raining in the valley, Wit? Is it like sprinkling? Or is it
sprinkling
like torrential downpour rain?
Sprinkling. That?
I don't know. It's my pudding brain from last night. It never solidified.
Okay. Let me save this so I don't lose it, because that was part of my naughty artist bingo. All right. Are you ready, Jess?
Yep.
Welcome back, everybody, to the panel protagonist. I'm Melly.
I'm Jess.
We have a very exciting stream today. And it's not Star Wars. That's, yeah. Because usually when I say that, it's a Star Wars themed stream, but it's not today. It is an original character writing exercise day. And I'm so excited and so self-conscious and so nervous and so... There's a bunch of different emotions going through me right now about this stream that I can't contain it. So my ADHD is at all-time high. So, Jessi has not given me any of the questions she's about to ask.
Nope.
So I'm pretty excited to know what's going to happen. If you participate in the questionnaire today and you're part of the Confab Corner, you will get 100 points just for participating in this questionnaire. Find out if your original character needs a little bit more work or you have completely fleshed it out. Spoiler warning, you probably still need to work on your character. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah. You always need to improve on something with your character. So it's not, Jessi has informed me it's not like, oh, I'm going to choose this original character to answer for. You can choose any original character to answer for, and I have two in mind that I'm probably going to answer for. One of them is in this picture for the stream starting soon, the one on the left. So I'm pretty excited because I've been hyper fixated on her for 2 years. And then there's another one that I've worked 10 years on. So we'll find out. And with that, I shall give it to Jessi if she wishes to have a...
Now we're going to skip breaking news because there hasn't been a whole heck of a lot. And this is going to be a bit of a longer stream today, I think.
Ooh.
This is over 100 questions long.
Oh my god!
Yeah. It took me quite some time to figure this out. Oh, and okay. I just kind of was going through some writing prompts that I have been seeing on, funnily enough, it's Pinterest, and I was kind of inspired to to make one of these for myself, and I thought it would make a really fun stream for us to go through.
Oh yeah,
because I know
for sure.
You and me are constantly coming up with original characters, and I know several of the people we talk to on a regular basis are constantly doing that as well. So it'll be fun. I hope everyone has a good time with it. Like Mel said, you do not have to have a particular character person in mind when I was writing this. I had two also in mind. My obviously most
Is it your Lord of the Rings one?
it is, yes. And then my newest, least used character. And so that kind of helped me figure out the direction I wanted to take with some of these questions. Also, if you're in chats or Mel, even when you're answering some of these questions, you don't have to give me details if you don't want to. You can literally just say yes or no. That's totally fine. You don't have to answer any of them if you don't want to. You could just be in your head like, "Oh shit, I didn't think of that."
Yeah,
Cool too. That's what this is for.
I also thought about that too. And I'm really excited because one of mine is my Star Wars character that I completely created in absolute abject spite of the Jedi. And then the other one is actually my Tales of the Abyss character that I've worked 10 years on. So I'm pretty excited to find out how fleshed out she is.
So I have
to the side.
broken out. Actually, I'm going to grab the notebook that I wrote these down in because this will be easier. So I've broken out these questions into categories.
Oh, categories, eh?
Yep. And, oops, wrong notebook. The categories are name, age, birthday, and general appearance, family and home, friends and other companions, strengths and weaknesses, preferences, morals, past history, character development, adaptability, and the last one, because I think we all fall prey to this, main character syndrome.
Oh, yeah. So,
the last one has a lot of questions actually about us, the people writing the main character.
Okay, that should be easy. And the person in chat who would know the most about my main character syndrome is actually here to correct me if I'm ever wrong.
Okay, so we're just gonna kind of get into things, and I hope you guys have fun with this because it was certainly fun to make.
I'm fucking nervous.
Don't be nervous. It should be fun. I hope it's fun. Does your original character have both a first and last name?
Yes, both of them do.
My least fleshed out character does not have a last name.
Oh, so my Star Wars character is Althea Serene. If you couldn't figure that out from the D&D sessions.
Nope.
And then the other one is Dr. Amara Travali.
Oh, she's got a title even.
Yes. Yes.
A suffix to go with the name.
Yes. I'm very proud of hers. Anyway.
Well, my Lord of the Rings character is called Aeoli Stormrider.
Ooh.
It's not a authentic Lord of the Rings Rohan.
I mean,
but I don't care.
One of the things I was really self-conscious about, because I know how you like to be very realistic in the fandoms that
I mean,
we insert our characters.
Sometimes I don't.
Yeah, I know it depends, but when I was telling you about my original Lord of the Rings character, there was a bit of judgment there.
Okay. That one, I am a stickler for the lore.
But anyway, I digress. So yeah.
Okay. Does your original character have a nickname?
Okay, so Amara has a nickname with the monsters of the fandom that she belongs to, and it's Amy. And Althea it's not really a nickname, but one of the planets she was on, she became one of the people, and the people call her Alte. If you also couldn't figure that out from D&D.
Neither of my characters has a nickname.
Oh,
Yeah.
sad face.
Do you know how old your original character is?
So, Althea, at the time of Order 66, she is 2,372 years old. And Amara is 28.
My least fleshed out character, I have no idea. She's just young. Aoli is 42 because she's part elven, and so she ages like a Dunedain would. So she
Okay.
looks quite young, but she's
Actually,
not.
really not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know your original character's birthday?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
100%
I don't either.
neither of them.
I have not. Oh, no,
And it's even more difficult with the Star Wars universe because it's like, what is the calendar?
The calendar's different. Yeah.
And it's especially different depending on what planet you're on and all this and that. And like there's so many and oh my god, why can't I say ambiguity with calendar dates in the universe? Mm-hmm. So it's really difficult to come up with a birth date for that. So I just didn't even try with that one.
So I actually take it back. My least fleshed out character belongs to Stardew Valley. I did give her my birthday.
Okay. See, that makes sense. And with Amara, I just didn't even think about it because, well, maybe I'll let you guys know why when we get further into the questionnaire.
Okay. Do you know your original character's hair color and style?
Yes. So, if anybody was here when the stream starting soon picture was up, on the left side was Althea, and it's a very like dirty blonde, kind of like my hair, but lighter, and it's always got this like she's got like a little ponytail, but it's a dragging ponytail, and it goes down her shoulder on one side. And then Amara has black curly long hair that she normally puts up in a ponytail if she's on an expedition.
Almost every character that I have ever created has like shoulder length curly hair, brown hair. So like mine, but longer.
Is it also super curly too?
Yes.
Yes.
Does that ever change? So do you ever change like their hairstyle or their hair color?
Occasionally Amara's hair tie will come undone, but that's really just about it. Oh no, that's a different character. I had another character that actually changed her hair from blonde to black to cover up her identity because she wanted to remain quote unquote dead.
I have a Harry Potter OC, who had pink hair for a while.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah. Do you know your original character's eye color, and do they have glasses or contacts?
Okay, so Althea's eye color is teal. And I like that color, teal. And then Amara's is purple.
Purple. Like a Targaryen. Purple.
Purple. I always call it amethyst. And in the story I write her in, I always refer to as the amethyst void.
Aoli's eyes are emerald green. My Stardew character does have glasses.
So the character I'm actually drawing for in this picture, which Whitney knows who the second character is, but one of them is actually mine that I just created like a couple weeks ago, and she has like honey amber-like eyes. Pretty like happy about that.
Do you know how tall your original character is?
Althea is the shortest fucking thing on the planet. She's 5'4", and Amara is also very short, but she's 5'6".
I'm not going to take personal offense to the fact that you think 5'4" is the shortest fucking thing on the planet as I sit here in all of my 5'1" glory.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
I
okay.
do not know how tall either of my OCs are.
Oh.
Yep.
That's not, like, unnecessarily a bad thing. I only wanted to know the height because certain character heights are, like, tall, and I needed her to be short. And I'm just gonna
They're all taller than me. That's all I picture in my head mentally, but I never was like, Aoli's gonna be 5'7.5". She's probably tall like a Dunedain would be tall.
Yeah.
But I haven't thought of that because I never needed to.
Fair enough.
Do you know your original character's weight and body shape?
Both of my girls' body shape is, like, very curvaceous. Their weight, I haven't really put much thought into it, but they're not I wouldn't say they're skinny, and I wouldn't say they're, like, super chunky either. Like, they're just, like, thick. Well, one of them is, like, she's very toned because she has to be with everything, because she's old. She's 2,000 years old. Of course she's going to have some muscle tone to her, especially with what happened in her past. The other one is, like, up in the air because her expedition, she usually goes out with multiple people and they help do the fighting for her, but because she can talk and communicate with the monsters, there's usually no conflict. So there's no reason for her to have that, like, body mass, you know what I mean? So but she is what we would call a magic user, and she I wouldn't say she's muscular, but maybe slightly toned just because of the acrobatics she does.
Yep.
So I don't know the exact weights because I haven't put much thought into it, but I do know their body types.
Yeah, so I don't know the weights for any of my original characters, but Aoli's very acrobatic as well, so she's quite athletic in her build. My Stardew character is a little bit more like me, except not quite as round, but because I really leaned into the farmer and mine exploration aspect of Stardew Valley when I made this character, I kind of made her like a I hate to say it, but more kind of like a dwarf. So she's like a short she's like a little teeny tiny power package.
Oh.
So she's short, but she's real strong.
Heck yeah. Like, I don't know if you watched Delicious in Dungeon, but, like, Senshi?
No, I haven't watched
Damn! Okay, yeah. Then you wouldn't get the reference.
Yeah.
He's very stocky.
Yes, stocky. Does your OC have any scars or tattoos?
Oh my god. Okay, so Mara doesn't, for sure. She hasn't, yeah, because she can heal herself. Technically, Amara can't heal herself, but Althea can, to a certain extent. She's got 2 large scars on her backside from a battle she endured. And because she couldn't reach it or feel it through the force, she could not heal herself. And it's scarred.
Mm-hmm. So my Stardew character has an arm sleeve because she's just badass like that.
I love this. I love this so much. So many tats. I just want everyone in chat to know I am actually reading it.
We're just curious. This is fun.
This is really enjoyable. I really enjoy this.
Aoli has a shit ton of scars.
Well, I believe it.
Yeah, because of where she lives and because of something in her past that I will talk about when we get to that section. She's got, like, her right hand is all calloused and scarred. her back is all scarred. She's got one on her neck.
Inquisitor.
Yeah. Of your Inquisitor. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Does your original character have different colored skin? And I'm not talking about black and brown. I'm talking like
if
blue,
they're purple or green. No.
Yeah.
None of my characters have different colored skin.
Okay. Neither do mine. None of them. Unless there was an instance with my Harry Potter character with a potion. But that doesn't count. That was temporary. Does your OC have any signature physical features? So like antenna, gills, a tail, anything like that?
Let me think. Amara does not, for sure. And Althea does not either.
Yeah, neither do any of mine. Okay, second category.
Oh, wow, we got through the first category, everybody!
Yeah. Do your original character's parents have names?
Okay, so Amara's parents died in the wars, and I haven't given thought to their names. And Althea's parents died when her planet blew up. So she also does not. I have not put thought into her parents' names either.
Yeah. My Stardew Valley character, I have not put a single solitary thought into her parents. But Aoli's parents, her father's name is Hemdig.
Oh.
And mom's name I haven't thought up yet, but mom was an elf from Lothlorien. So while she doesn't have a name, I know where she was. There's a follow-up question to this one. If one or more of them are deceased, do you know how they died?
Yeah, so Amara's parents died in the war prior to when I start my story. And Althea's parents died when the Jedi destroyed her planet.
Oh, I see. Now it's all starting to come together.
It's all starting to come together. Now you know why. I have to make them out to be villains at some point in my story.
I have not created yet how Aoli's mother died. I just know that she's...
You just know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what your original character's parents look like? If you have them.
So, I didn't put much thought into Mara's character's parents, but Althea's mom would look almost identical to her, and her father would have dark hair and look pretty like, he would look very skinny because he's a scholar, so he doesn't do anything labor intensive, so he would, he'd be pretty lanky in body because he's a scholar. So I put some thought into Althea's parents in body shape, but not so much the names or anything, or even into Amara's. Yeah, exactly, Whitney. Unless they show up in my writing, which they do, and with Althea, general descriptions is usually what I go for, if it even ever comes up.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, there's a character in Game of Thrones that I actually based the general appearance of my father on, and I can't remember the guy's name right now, but he's one of the wildlings, and so the general description of him is he's got a very friendly looking, sort of roundish face. He's got a very full brown beard, sort of semi-balding, but the hair is still up top. It's brown, but it's going gray. He's a little bit older, so he's like in his early 60s. Ish.
Oh.
Because he's not a Dunedain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does your original character have siblings?
Amara does not. And neither does Althea.
My Stardew character does not. Aoli has a brother.
Oh.
Yeah. Follow-up questions. If yes, do you know their names and what they look like? If one or more of them are deceased, do you know how they died?
It depends.
So you didn't have any, but I did. Aeoli's brother, I have not given a name to, but he looks more or less like Eomer. Same kind of general description. And he's not dead, so I haven't made up how he dies.
Oh.
Does your original character have extended family, and do you know any of their names?
Extended family.
So, like grandma, aunt, uncle.
So, no for either. But there's a lot of people who know about Althea, sorry. I mean, there's people who know about Mara too, but Althea especially has some backstory on that.
Yeah. The only extended family I have ever given to characters I've ever made, just general. My Harry Potter character has a grandpa, and Aeoli has a godmother, and that's it.
Oh.
Don't know names. That's all I got. If your original character is an orphan, do you know who your parents are or have any plans to discover this?
So Amara, she was, it's gonna, I don't think, especially Althea, she was definitely not underage when her planet blew up. And Amara was probably over 18 when her parents died. I haven't really given thought about that, though. I'd have to look at some history in the fandom for me to determine that.
I've never made an orphan, because I'm just kind of tired of that trope. So I can't answer this question for any of my original characters.
The character I'm drawing right now, she was orphaned, but she doesn't really talk about her biological parents because the people who raised her were her parents. And they're still alive.
Right. That makes sense. Do you know where your original character was born?
Sorry. Okay, so Amara was born in the capital of the Malkuth Kingdom, which is Grand Kokma. And Althea was born on her home planet of Nar, which was destroyed by the Jedi.
Nar? Is that a planet you made up?
It is.
Okay. Like, Nar, that's not one I'm familiar with. I was about to whip out the galaxy map.
Oh, Whitney's character found her dad eventually.
Yeah. Aeoli was born in a settlement outside of Edoras. So she was not born in the capital of Rohan. She was born with a tribe not associated with Edoras. And my Stardew Valley character was born in that city that they mention in the game. I can't remember its name.
Oh, yeah, the big city?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know where your original character currently lives?
So, Amara technically currently lives at Grand Kokma in the palace. And, but she's all over the place, so she's not really there most of the time. And then Althea is nomadic. She has no home. But if she had to pick a home, it would be another made-up planet called Kanaianoi.
Spell that for me. I like how it sounds. Phonetically, it's very pretty.
Oh, thank you. It was very fun to come up with this planet because then I got really into it and came up with, like, planet ritual. It's a very primitive planet. Rituals and creatures.
Wait,
and
Aaron, does your Inquisitor bite the dust? I'm just guessing that's how it ends.
Oh no.
Oh. Okay.
Tragedy. Tragedy struck the Inquisitor.
I can guess the other. Well, I didn't think you meant Veilguard. I thought you meant the game prior. Oh, Trespasser. Oh, that's a DLC I haven't played. Okay. Never mind then. I won't make you reveal. Sorry, do go on.
Oh, that was it?
Okay. So my original character, obviously, for Stardew Valley, currently lives in Stardew Valley. And Aoli is nomadic also. But if she had to pick a place to live, she would return to Edoras. She can't, for reasons that I will say later when we get to the past history stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be Edoras if she could pick a place. There was a follow-up question. Can you name the city, state, or country? We already did that. Does your original character have a house or apartment or abode of other kind? And if not, do they live in a school or similar community home?
So, Amara lives in the palace. She was granted that by the Emperor of Malkuth because he was worried about her well-being after her parents died. And then Althea lives in a hut given to her by the people of Kanainoi. So when she visits, she has a hut that she stays in.
Brittany, I think spaceship counts as being nomadic.
It's a spaceship cat.
So yeah. Aoli lives in whatever inn she can purchase a room in whenever they stop. And if she's not in an inn, she's sleeping on the ground.
Oh.
If we're talking about my Stardew Valley character, then obviously she's got a home.
Yeah.
Depending on what year I'm in, it's a really shitty home, or it's a big fucking house.
Character I'm drawing right now doesn't really have a home. She's in the inn right now.
Yeah. I'm sorry, next question. If your original character is an adventurer, so like we've been talking about, do they ever return home?
So when my story starts with Amara, she is away from her hometown for 9 years due to what happens when she's out on her expedition. And she returns a couple of times during that during the story time for plot reasons. But she doesn't really go back to her room so much for reasons. So yes and no. And Althea can never go back to her home. Kanai know she goes back to a couple of times in the story because that's her home away from home. It was the place that took her in when she had nowhere else to go. So she does return to Kanainoi a couple of times. She also tamed a wyvern on Kanainoi, and they're, connected through the forest. So obviously she'd get home, quote unquote, homesick, and she would return just to pretty much hang out with her dragon.
So my Stardew Valley character cannot return home upon penalty of death.
Jesus Christ!
She's got some assassins after her.
Oh man, you too, huh?
Yeah. But Aoli also cannot return home, but she does for story reasons because I'm very faithful to a lot of the plot. So, but there's a significant portion of her story where she is not in Rohan at all. But for obvious story reasons, she does return to Rohan for the part of that story where Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli are in Rohan pursuing Merry and Pip. And then she stays...
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard!
Rohan's war.
Sorry.
And then she leaves again.
And then she leaves again.
Yep.
Typical elf.
Half elven. Thank you.
Oh, my bad.
Does your original character know anyone of significance from their homeland? And what I mean by that is, do they know the monarch, the president, a senator, a business person, a prominent criminal, etc.?
Let me just crack my knuckles for this one. So Amara obviously knows the Emperor. They were childhood friends. They pretty much grew up together. And then everything that happened with the war, he pretty much was like, live in the palace. I'm worried about your mental health. And then Althea was trained directly under the leader of her faction of sages. So she was trained under the great sage Naboda. Even though she never wanted to be a sage.
Mm-hmm. So, Aeoli, it's not hard. Her father is a guard in Adoras at the Longhouse. So she actually lived there for quite a long time. So she knows the king. She knows Eomer.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows all those people. My Stardew Valley character...
Oh no, this is gonna get good.
My Stardew Valley character is connected to a hacking syndicate.
What?
And she is personally familiar with the head of what's that corporation?
Oh, Jojo Mart?
Yeah.
I said Jojo, but it's Joja.
Joja, yeah, there you go. Joja Mart. So in my headcanon, Joja Mart is ostensibly more evil than it is in the video game.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I can believe it.
And they're up to some extra shady shit.
Some extra shady shit.
And so she knows individuals who are trying to take down Joja Mart from the inside out, including herself.
Well, yeah, who wouldn't want to take down Joja Mart?
I know, right? Does your original character have any children?
Althea can't have children.
Oh, that's sad.
And Amara, I haven't given much thought to it because I have been going back and forth between wondering if she should have children. But right now, as it stands in the story, she does not, and she doesn't really think about children because of what's going on in her life. So
Aeoli doesn't have any, and she never has any. My Stardew Valley character has 2 because that's what you get in the game.
Oh.
Yep.
Do we get to know the love interest?
It's Sebastian.
Okay, that... Why did I even ask? I already knew the fucking answer.
Alright, next category.
Wow.
Yeah, friends. Does your original character have any childhood friends? If yes, do you know their names? If any of them are dead, do you know how?
Althea has 0 childhood friends.
Oh dear.
Because they all died. And then... And then Amara has the Emperor and a colonel from the Malkuth military named Jade Curtis. If you can't already guess where that was going.
I had no idea that was coming.
Anyway. Yeah, that's it.
My Stardew Valley character has 1 childhood friend who was involved in the hacking syndicate and is now very dead.
Oh. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sad.
The Lord of the Rings character has 5 childhood friends.
Jesus Christ!
They were all born in the village with her. and they're all still alive during the events of the War of the Ring.
So I want to sidetrack for a second. Whitney said she had a character in another story that comes back and has like 7 kids.
I read that. And I'm like, comes back from what?
Oh man, I don't know if it's the character I'm thinking of, but she would quickly tell me if it is or not. So,
how do you come back from anything and have like 7 kids?
The world will never know.
I'm
Jess.
so curious.
The world will never know.
I've never
given... that's what I thought. Okay.
I've never given names to these childhood friends.
Oh.
Yeah. They exist.
So, Aaron...
It's just there.
It's a continuity. So when she's saying comes back, she's talking about from another timeline. Because we have multiple stories within the same, like, fandom, but they're from different, like, timelines. So the one Althea's ends technically, like, middle of the timeline of stories. And then, like, later on is when we, quote-unquote, come back with said kids.
Okay. Does your original character have a significant other?
There it is. Yes. I was waiting.
Hang on. If yes, do you know how long they've been together? If you had one, but they are deceased, do you know how?
Okay. Whitney, all of them. Yeah, same, all of them. So, Althea does have a significant other. She's very self-conscious about it because she knows she lives a long time, and her lover does not. Like his timeline is halved compared to the other people, and she's very well aware of it, and she's very self-conscious of knowing that, so she tries not to think about it. Amara, yes, later in the story, so it's very brand new, but technically she's been fooling around with the same guy for a couple of years. And I mean, like, physically fooling around with the same guy.
I knew what you meant.
Okay.
Obviously, my Stardew Valley characters with Sebastian. And Legolas is Aoli's chosen partner. Don't ask me how that works, because he's, like, forever old, and she was, like, an actual toddler when they met. But it's fine.
Althea's lover wasn't even born for, like, another couple thousand years after she was, so...
Yes, it's fantasy. Would you like to know something interesting about one of my medium tier fleshed out characters?
Oh no, sure. I mean,
I just recently gave one of my characters that I've been working on for a while, I gave her a harem.
What? No.
Because I've never done that before, and I thought, hey, that would be fun.
Okay, hold up. Whitney, what fandom was that from? Because I don't remember that one, I think. But it sounds like something we would do, for sure.
I'm sure it was another Star Wars thing.
I mean, it could have been. Oh! Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Now I know what you're talking... Yeah, there was definitely a love triangle, just not in the conventional sense. That was... Yeah, now it's all coming back to me now. Anyway.
It's all coming back to me.
But yeah.
Okay, does your original... Oh, I just did that one. Gosh, Jessica, scroll.
Jeez, Jess. God.
Does your original character have a mentor of any significance? If yes, do you know their name and what they taught you? If they are dead, do you know how?
Okay, so Amara had like a couple of mentors for combat so that she wasn't completely weak and because she needed to know how to use the magical arts. So technically Jade was her mentor and he's still alive and obviously together with my character. And then Althea had the great sage Naboda and learned everything she had to know about being a sage. Like, everything she had to know, including some extra that normally sages don't do. And, but after her, because Naboda died when the planet blew up, she hasn't picked up any new mentors. I guess that's not true. So something happens in her past, because if this comes up, I'll explain it further. She was enslaved, and when she was rescued, she technically took on a student with the leader of a, they're not really gangs, they're like vigilantes. They're called the Disasters. And she picked up combat from the leader of the Disasters. And then she got so good that now she was known throughout the Hutts and the Zygerians as the natural disaster. The more you know.
Mm-hmm. So, my Stardew Valley character doesn't have any, but my Lord of the Rings character has two. The first one is Gandalf.
Gandalf. Gandalf.
Yeah. The second one is Galadriel.
Oh.
So I've set her up to be my godmother, because she's related in some distant way to the elf that I have fashioned to be her mother.
Yeah.
And so that since Lothlorien and Rohan share that border, for story reasons, I have Aeoli going back and forth to Rohan and Lothlorien quite a bit.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, does your original character have any recurring allies? Yes.
Yes. 100%.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them do, for sure.
Yeah. Does your original character have any pets? If yes, do you know its name? If the species is one you made up, did you name it?
Okay. So, Amara doesn't have any pets, but the group she's in picks up Mew, which is a Cheagle from the fandom. It's an established character. And then, Althea has her wyvern, which from Kanainoi it is called the No, Whitney, I need help. Why did I forget the name? Bana. It's called the Bana. And when it translates to the common tongue, it is the sea glider.
That sounds fun.
And her Bana's name is Exa. But yeah.
So my Stardew Valley character has a dog.
Well, of
course. That I have not named.
Figures.
Because it changes every time I restart.
Every time you play? You're like, oh, I got a brilliant fucking name now.
Do you?
No, I was talking about, yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I have a perfect name. Aeoli has a Maras.
What is it?
One of those horses that lives forever and
okay
is special. Yeah. I had a name. I can't think of it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I know. It was a name I've been holding on to for a long time too, and I'm sure I've written it down somewhere, but I can't remember it right off the top of my head right now. I know.
I am sad.
I'm very sad.
I'm very sad.
Sorry. Does your original character have a trusty steed? I just answered that question for me.
Amara does not. Althea does if she visits Kanainoi.
Okay, is it your wyvern?
It is.
Follow-up question to that. Does it have any special qualities or abilities or anything like that?
So Mew carries around a ring called the Sorcerer's Ring, which is also established in the fandom, and it gives him fire powers. But technically speaking, the Chicos all have fire powers. It just depends on when their powers, like, what's the word I'm looking for? When their powers are, it's not activated, but it's essentially activated. The Bana are in tune with the Force. And, but their special qualities is that they can fly in the air and they can also glide through the sea.
Like a flying fish?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool. My Maros can sense me the second I step foot into Rohan, which is important for something that happens in my story. Does your are your
Griffin.
original characters' friends critical to your story?
Yes. 100.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah. My story would be drastically different without them.
Yeah, for sure. 100.
Yeah. Is your pet or trusty steed critical to your story?
No. Mew
Yes.
is. Mew definitely is, but Mew's not a steed, so that doesn't count. And the Bana is not. Okay. The Bana is critical to a subplot, but not to the overall plot.
Aoli would actually be dead.
Oh! Okay! Damn!
Yeah. Without the trusty steed, I would be dead.
Jesus Christ.
Is your original character's partner critical to your story?
Yes, 100%.
Yes, because my character was written by a guy like 115 years ago.
One of them is definitely... Yeah, no, they're both definitely. There's no competition.
Yep, both of mine are. I've never made up a partner, an original partner for an original character. It's always someone from
one of my original characters from the Walking Dead series has an original partner.
I wonder if you could
by that choice. It was not by choice at first.
Okay. I wonder if you could answer this question differently for that character if it was that series you were thinking of. Like, would your story be different
if he wasn't?
If
there would be no character development for my character without him.
Got it.
She would still be the crazy, I gotta kill everybody, bitch, essentially.
Like, I can answer, if I think about my Harry Potter character, that story would be almost exactly the same without that character's partner. Because it's Oliver Wood and he doesn't do anything.
Okay. But
every other character I've ever made, their partner is like super critical to the plot. So I can't remove them. Would your original character be significantly affected if one of your companions died?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Althea would be fucking devastated. She would go on a rampage.
Oh yeah. I think one of my characters would actually explode, like physically explode.
Okay.
She's got some barely contained supernatural abilities.
Oh.
Might actually physically explode.
Amara would just lose her entire self if her partner died.
Well, not
which is really funny because she dances on the door of death like every other subplot. So
it doesn't have to be your partner. It could be your friends, your pet.
Yeah, it would still be the same. Steed. It would still be the same. Oh my god. Okay, you said the steed. Althea almost lost her steed. And she completely lost it to the point she almost killed herself.
Yeah, I think if, given the connection that the Rohirrim have to their horses, I think that would be the same for Aoli. She would just
lose
become
herself.
mush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Why do we write our characters so tragically written?
I know, right?
It's like we're trying to validate our own trauma. JK.
I mean, that's kind of what you do when you write an original character. You put yourself into it, right?
Yeah, you do self-insert is what I guess it's called.
Yeah.
It's fine. This is fine. Trauma makes for good drama. I always say that. I'm like, it's good for the trauma. I mean drama.
All right. Next category, strengths and weaknesses. Do you know your original character's physical strengths?
Physical strength? Well,
physical strengths.
Does this include magical properties or no?
No. I've separated them on purpose.
Amara has some combat experience because she's had a mentor at least teach her how to have some form of a technique to defend herself, but most of her strengths are within the magical properties. Althea originally did not have any physical strengths until she was enslaved and rescued. When she was rescued, that's when she built up upon her physical strengths. And I guess both of them are very acrobatic. So I guess that would be their physical strength.
So, my Stardew Valley character, like I said, she's just crazy strong. Unnaturally strong. I don't know why I did this to her, but she's just stupid strong. But Aoli, she's not she's not like I'm gonna punch you a mile away strong. But she's very agile, kind of in that elf fashion.
I could think of one of Whitney's characters that could be like, I could punch you from a mile away.
Yeah, so she's very agile. She's very acrobatic, kind of in the same way that you were saying.
That's a temporary rival of that. That is 100% true, by the way.
I'm just imagining an angry badger plaster it on top of one of Whitney's characters. One of Aoli's strengths too is that she can just run forever.
Oh yeah, okay. I forgot about Mara has she has average stamina, I think. I wouldn't say she could run forever or that she was a fast runner, but Althea, she's fucking quick. And I would also, maybe Whitney can tell me if I'm wrong, but I would also not categorize her as having a ton of stamina. I think it's just over average. Now the new character I'm writing has the stamina of the fucking horse. She can go on forever. And she's
Aoli's not like a sprinter, so she's not fast when she runs. She's fast when she fights, but she's not fast when she runs. She can just run for an absolute eternity. It's like if you turned Legolas loose and said, run from the Woodland Realm to Gondor, he'd be like, okay.
Sure, whatever you ask.
Go forever. If your OC is not physically strong, is there a reason why?
Okay, so I'm going to go back to Althea, even though I said that later on she actually gains the strength. So before she gains the strength, the reason why she didn't have any is because within the sages, they were always taught, you're not a fighter, you're a healer, you're a defender, you're supposed to act as the defense and then heal the wounded in any battle. So she was never taught to fight. And even though, so technically, Althea has a bow. It's a very, very specific bow made by her people with a very specific metal. So, she technically has the bow, but she's only allowed to use it within her faction for defense purposes. So she was never really taught how to physically fight, which is why she was never strong and why it was easy for the Zygarians to capture her.
Okay.
And then Amara, She's just a magic user. She's got the acrobatics. That's pretty much it.
Yep. The character I made for Stardew Valley, I haven't thought that far ahead. So I haven't... I'm sure she's going to have something that... Well, you know what? I'm just going to move on to the next question for her, because I can answer it better for her. Aeoli's just never had a reason to be very fast. So she's just
Fair.
not. She's always had a horse to ride.
Fair enough.
Do you know your original character's physical weaknesses?
Let me hear about yours. If you don't have
any, why not? Okay. So my Stardew Valley character, I also haven't really thought that far ahead for her, except that she has, actually both my characters have some psychological trauma.
Man, that definitely runs deep in all of our characters, doesn't it?
It sure does. The trauma for my Stardew Valley character has to do with the day that she had an assassination attempt, and it was the day that she left the big city, and she almost died, and now she's kind of like obsessively watching everyone, and she's got this gunshot wound in her lower like torso.
Sorry, Whitney.
So while she can probably heft a whole log when she's done chopping down all those fucking trees by herself. If you punch her in the right place, she's going down.
Oh yeah, both of my characters are the same way. If you can hit them in the right spot, they'll go down.
Yeah. Aeoli, on the other hand, she's got exactly one physical vulnerability. And
now I know what you're asking. Okay, when you're done.
Yeah, it's a physical weakness, not a so she has got this. I've gifted her something that's not exactly lore friendly, but I I went with it, so it's fine. She's got this connection, this blood connection to the Ents. And those other sentient trees that aren't Ents, but the Ents are responsible for kind of maintaining them and making sure they're not awake, and they're the ones that are outside of Helm's Deep when the orcs are retreating.
Vaguely.
I cannot recall what they are, but they're not Ents. They're like...
Yeah, I don't know.
They used to be Ents, or they trying to be Ents, but they can't quite make it up to the Ent status. Anyway. Aeoli can feel, as long as she's in the country of Rohan, when an Ent or one of those trees is taking damage. So when the party first enters Rohan, she basically passes out because of everything that was happening in Saruman's encampment.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, and so she runs ahead of the party, and they find her on the ground. She's got like blood like running down her arm. And
Jesus Christ!
She's got all these. That's why her hand is all scarred up. She's got all these like little cuts everywhere, all up and down her right arm, and yeah.
Jeez.
As long as she's in Rohan, she's vulnerable.
Jesus. Okay, well, Althea's scars on her back is her literal physical weakness. If people hit her on her back, it will literally... She will be immobilized.
Oh.
Incapacitated.
Damn, those are some pretty sensitive scars.
Yes, very. And as far as Amara goes, I mean, she's not like a strong fighter to begin with, so if she was ever in combat with someone who is a little bit more than just your average foot soldier, she would go down. That's why she's also got assassins after her, and that's why it's always difficult for her to fight them, and she prefers to run.
Whitney, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I'm about to say something about another character that I have.
What?
So I maimed.
Making horrible liars? Or lose
No.
appendages?
Yes. Okay. So,
God.
My next question is, does your original character have any physical defects that keep them from moving or fighting regularly?
No.
Okay. The characters that I have been talking about thus far also do not. But I made a Naruto OC who, at the conclusion of Shippuden, I killed.
Oh.
In the worst way possible. I burned her alive.
I've killed like allies of my...
Oh no, I burned this OC alive.
Jesus Christ, Jessi.
And then when Boruto started, I brought her back, but also in the most horrific way possible. To bring an original character back to life.
Jesus Christ.
She was a charred husk of a person. She had no skin.
Oh
no
my God.
Eyeballs. She couldn't walk or talk or hear. So she was in this hospital in Suna, if you're familiar with the Naruto.
No, sure I'm not.
Yeah, okay. So she was not in the main, I'm going to say main town, village of Naruto. And nobody knew who she was because she didn't have skin and she couldn't talk.
Jesus Christ.
She also didn't have any of her oh shit. I've been reading so much manga and I've been calling it chi this whole time, and it's not called chi in Naruto. It's called something else, but it's that, you know, the life force that they use to...
Yeah.
Chakra. It's called chakra.
Okay.
So she didn't have her own chakra either. All of that was gone. And I spent probably a year trying to figure out how I was going to bring this character back.
You spent so much time trying
I did, because I had a lot of time because Boruto was new. There was a Naruto movie in there, and
can't figure out the hands.
I just had a lot of time to figure it out. So I figured out a way for her to gradually regain the sense of hearing and regain the ability to speak. And she regrew her skin by Naruto methods that don't make any sense, but it's Naruto, so just go with it.
I mean, you do you, boo. No judgment.
Yeah. But she's blind, and she still can't walk. And she's in a ninja village, and she still doesn't have her chakra, so she can't be a ninja anymore. And she was so OP when I burned her alive.
That's funny. You made the GM cry? Jesus Christ.
Stayed out in the sun until she turned to ash. Yeah, this character, Whitney, I turned her to ash. She was gone.
God damn, dude.
Alright, moving on. Does your OC have any magical or supernatural abilities? And if yes, Are these abilities assisted by some tool or artifact?
Let me crack some knuckles here. So Amara has mainly magical abilities. They are not produced by any tool. So in the fandom that she comes from, you have to cast arts in order to cast the magical quote unquote spell. But she found out through intense observation of her environment that there were some monsters who were able to do it without casting. And she wanted to learn how, because she realized that these monsters were also shaping the ecology and environment they were living in. So, in one part of my story, she encounters like it's pretty much a dinosaur. I forgot the actual name of the monster in the game. But this dinosaur literally created a canyon from its abilities. And she wanted to be able to do that because of the human impact on the environment. She wanted to help create a sustainable way to not destroy the environment, but for humanity to continue progressing. And she thought this was the way, which is why she started the research. So she eventually figured out how to do it herself, but never told anybody else how to do it. Because she realized they wanted to use it more as a weapon, because there's no cast time. If there's no cast time, you can literally just bend the elements like Aang or Katara. You could literally just... There were restrictions to that, by the way, which I'm very proud about creating. But she learned how to do that. But there's no tool or anything that signifies that. It's just based off of... it would be like the equivalency of like a chakra or chi within the body. But there's no definitive like technological jargon for that within the fandom. And I haven't created one myself. And then with Althea, there's also not a tool specific for her magic, quote, quote, magic. But her bow does and can amplify certain aspects of her magic, which I greatly do. But she doesn't have a tool for it. She learned everything she needed to know because of her ability with the Force and how in tuned she was with the Force. And they trained that in her.
So, my Stardew Valley character, obviously not. My Lord of the Rings character, I did give her a minor ring. It doesn't do a whole heck of a lot other than get very, very bright. And it comes in use exactly one time in the scene in the Longhouse when they're trying to expel
Theoden's like
yes,
like the control that what's his face had over. Yeah.
Are any of your original characters' abilities genetic? And if they are, do you know who you inherited them from?
Okay, so none of them are genetic. They're taught based on... Because Althea is just based off of her relationship to the Force. And how in tune her body naturally is to the Force. Amara's was also taught and later discovered. So it's also not, genetic.
Yeah. I have 0 genetic special abilities. That freaky tree thing.
Freaky tree thing. Just like
that is not genetic at all.
Ooh.
And my original character does not know where that came
from. The replacement arm is highly magical. That's cool.
If your original character didn't inherit them, is it critical to your identity?
Yes, Althea is 100% critical to her identity. Without her Force, and this happened to her, without her Force, she doesn't know who she is. She loses her complete identity. And it actually happens to her in the story before the main plot happens. This is from her past. She loses her connection to the Force, and her people call it the soul lock phenomena. And you can gain it back, but it just takes training and meditation and consistent breaking down of why the disconnection happened. So it could take years, it could take days, weeks, or years, depending on why the disconnection happened. And for her, it took 100 years. 62 of which she was enslaved for.
For these two characters that I'm talking about today, the answer is no. I have another video game character that I've built that would literally be a different person without them.
Oh.
Does your original character have any addictions?
Oh! Okay, so Amara does not. Althea was captured along with Whitney's original character, and they were experimented on for a drug that would block a Force user's ability to tap into the Force. And in order to get proper data from said experimentation, he also mixed a highly addictive substance within the solution so that both Althea and Whitney's original character craved the substance. And it took a long time for them to get over that addiction.
Aaron, I have built, like a little bit, a Dragon Age character who is addicted to red lyrium.
I also forgot to mention that I know Whitney's original characters usually, if they're going to have an addiction, is usually liquor. Althea is a heavy drinker, and I guess you could consider her to be a alcoholic, but she's not necessarily addicted to it, if that makes sense. She's a social drinker.
That could be an addiction.
Yeah, I don't know how else to explain that because she doesn't like crave it. She doesn't get withdrawals from it, but she does drink heavily when the opportunity arises for her.
I don't think I've ever built a character with an addiction. My Harry Potter character might be addicted to caffeine, but other than that, I don't really have a...
That's funny. Just like you!
Just like me, yep. Here's another loaded question. Sorry. Does your original character suffer from any matters or illnesses?
Any what?
Illnesses. Mental disorders or illnesses.
Althea has a very long 1,000-year complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Mara has more short-term PTSD just because she's being trailed by assassins.
Yep.
Very... yeah.
My Stardew Valley character obviously has a little bit of minor PTSD because she also is being tailed by assassins. Aoli has night terrors.
Oh!
And they're real bad.
I feel called out for this.
I didn't do it because of you. I did it because the minor ring that I gave her gives her an unfortunate connection to one of the Nazgul.
Oh no.
And she's seeing it at night. And it's only getting worse as the War of the Ring goes on, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, for obvious reasons. Holy shit.
Okay, can your OC be killed by any special weapon or material?
Like, do they, like, Superman, like, kryptonite thing?
Yep.
No. They could be killed by normal means.
That's also the same for every character I have ever made, with the exception of one that has to be killed by a special sword.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Does your original character have any special skills? And I'm not talking about fighting skills. I'm talking like they're a great cook, or they could sew you a whole chest plate in like 5 minutes, or they're a fucking genius, or anything like that.
I think they only... Okay, so Althea has thousands of years of wisdom. And she uses that. But one of the things that her people were very adamant about and very hypocritical about as well, which is partially the reason why they had their big giant downfall, was the lack of wanting to progress in their technology and teaching their younglings about technology, because it was a boon, because it meant corruption and greed, and they didn't want to fall victim like most of the galaxy has fallen victim. So Althea had to learn that through her love interest. So she's got like wisdom about everything else. She knows a ton of languages. I wouldn't say all of them, because I've put a quip in there about how she didn't know the Poltec language, and she had to actually steal her her lover's data pad to learn the language in secret. And that's how she learned. But yeah, she's very wise, and Amara she's a genius when it comes to ecology. Like, if anybody had any questions about the ecology of the planet, she was the person that they would go to.
So my Stardew Valley character is secretly an engineer.
Oh!
And that's how I made a lot of the things that happen in Stardew Valley make any practical sense. But also, obviously, she's got this hacking skill. And she's very, very good at it. So when I started making the story for this character, one of the things I did was I put an extra dilapidated building on Grandpa's plot. And she's turned it into like a Tony Stark type of...
This is just like the A for Avengers.
Yeah,
It
doesn't have anything on it. It just looks like a rundown barn on the outside, but when you walk into it on the inside, it's like all shiny, and there's all sorts of mechanical things and computers, and she's got like the old farm tractor up on a winch because she's retrofitting it. And
okay, hang on, Whitney. Are we talking poofy, or are you talking about length? And I'll wait until
like a bob, she
like
said.
A bob. Like a bob. Like a bob. Like bob? Poofy and length. Okay. Okay, well, let me just...
Like a bowl cut?
I don't think it's quite a bowl cut, because her hair is a little bit, like, all over the fucking place. But, I mean, close enough, question mark? Well, just longer, I think. It's longer. Pretty sure it's longer.
My Lord of the Rings character, she doesn't have special skills in anything. She's just very, very self-sufficient, as you would have to be in that world. So you could leave her alone out in the wild forever, and she'd be fine. Can I move on to the next question, or do you still need to...
No. I'm pretty...
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Does your OC have any foibles? I.e., are they clumsy? Are they forgetful? Are they a little ditzy? Anything like that?
Give me a second. I know they do. I have to think about it, because I haven't written Amara in a long while. Or Althea, for that matter.
While you think of it, both of my characters have the same one. They're very angry people.
Oh, okay. Althea can have a bit of a temper. And if her PTSD is involved, and especially if it involves her people, she kind of goes on a rampage and has almost killed Whitney's original character. Actually, has killed original character, was brought back by the Force. Oh. So, Althea has a bit of a temper if the conditions are right. She hates that she has it. She can also let her anxieties and her depression get so bad that she essentially pushes everybody away and hides. And pretends like everything is fine behind a smile. So she tends to hide a lot of everything, and she's very reserved, so it took a long time for, other than Whitney's original character, because there's a reason for that, it took a long time for Althea to even say anything regarding her people that wasn't just generic information like how the government was run and everything, because of her PTSD. So no one really knew anything about her until she finally opened up. Yeah. And then Amara, she's also the same way. Her anger is not quite as prominent as her fear is. She's very much afraid of everything because of the assassins trailing her. So, she also lets her depression get in the way of a lot of what she's doing. And it takes a lot of like outside help for her to function sometimes.
Okay, so before we move on to the next category, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
The next category, after we finish it, will only be halfway through. And we have been streaming for an hour and a half. Yeah, so we're going to have to cut this into 2 streams, y'all.
Hey! Okay, I can get down with that. Shit.
Okay, very, very good. So we'll just do this last category, and then in 2 weeks we will pick this topic, this writing exercise back up. Because as much as this would be fun to stream until 6 o'clock, I don't think
anybody. I don't even think my attention span would last that long.
We ain't got the time for that.
Ain't nobody got the time for that.
No. Okay. The next category is preferences.
Preferences.
Do you know your original character's preferred food?
No.
You have to pee, man. Yeah, I kind of have to pee too.
Althea has no preference. I think she favors Kenai and Noe's cuisine over most. But she definitely loves food. And Amara just prefers Grand Kokma food. Just because that's where she lives. That's where she grew up. But
my Stardew Valley character doesn't have one. Aoli, however, has been spoiled rotten by traveling with Gandalf for such a long time.
Of course.
In particular, when they go to Hobbiton, and she gets to eat all the sweets.
Oh yeah,
that the hobbits make.
Yeah.
So
I mean, honestly, fucking same shit.
Yeah.
Like, who wouldn't?
Yeah. Current OC forgets to eat because of her workaholic tendencies. That's sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she does.
Okay, do you know your original character's preferred season? Do you even have one?
Althea definitely has one because it's in reference to where she lived when she lived on Nar. Spring. And
Stardew Valley character has fall.
Honestly, Amara's favorite season is also spring.
Yeah. Ailey's is spring as well, because it's when all of the baby horses are born.
Yeah, figures.
Yeah. Do you know your original character's preferred weapon?
Althea's is her bow. Because it was made by a very specific metal that's on par with Beskar. And then Amara has a dual-bladed spear that she had made so that it could separate from the middle as 2 dual swords.
That's cheating! That's also my Lord of the Rings character's weapon.
What? A dual-bladed spear that can, like, separate into blades?
Yes!
God damn it. I can't even tell, like, who would win that because I've been developing Amara's character since, like, before I moved out.
shoot, I've been developing this character for quite some time, too. We'll
Shit.
just settle on we both did it at the same time.
We were thinking alike.
Yep. We're thinking alike.
We're great writers.
My Stardew Valley character has a switchblade that she carries with her at all
Jesus
times.
Christ, of course she does. Like a fucking gangster.
Yep.
Shit.
Do you know your original character's
Muffin
favorite place, if they have one?
Kanainoi for Althea. Or the Marauder. Depending on
Okay,
her
that
mood.
makes sense.
And Amara is Grand Kokma and Ketterberg.
So the Stardew Valley character doesn't really have one. I haven't thought that far ahead. Does Aoli have one?
I don't know. She's your character.
I know. I guess I haven't really thought of that either. Aoli doesn't really have one. Do you know what annoys your original character the most?
Amara hates anybody who talks about her research. Like, it annoys her to no end because she doesn't want to talk about it. She's trying to, like, push her research under the bridge because of all the trouble it's cost her. Althea, she's got a lot of annoyances. There's a lot to list. Anytime Whitney's original character is like, we should drink, that annoys the shit out of Althea. Because she knows where it's going, because the first time it's happened, she made a complete fool of herself in front of her love interest. And then she's... Let's see. She gets very angry whenever Crosshair is mentioned.
Okay.
And because there was a scene in which Crosshair pretty much said, I'm glad your people died.
Oh.
And anytime her people is mentioned in that fashion, she just goes into a blinding rage.
Okay, then.
Because, Althea blames herself for the destruction of her home planet.
Mm-hmm. I guess for Aoli it would be sort of the same thing, preying on the weak. Because that's kind of how she feels Rohan ended up in the state that it was.
Yeah.
And that's what led to her expulsion from Edoras in the first place. My Stardew Valley character, because she's basically me in certain parts of her personality, she is most annoyed by what I'm going to call politicking. So anything that is essentially micromanagement or a huge group of people talking about things that they have absolutely no idea about. So the bigwigs at JojaMart talking about the price of seeds, and
Jesus, of course.
They have no idea how much it really costs to be a farmer, and they're gonna stick it to the man.
Jesus.
That kind of thing.
That's
where she's gotta take JojaMart down. Yeah, the game, if you will. Do you know your original character's greatest fear?
Althea's is losing everybody and losing her sense of identity.
Okay.
And Amara's greatest fear is that they'll find out that she succeeded in her research. They will hunt her down to extract said research and then kill her, so they can use her research as a weapon for war.
Okay. My Stardew Valley character, I haven't thought that far ahead for her, so I'm sure she's gonna have one eventually, but I haven't made it yet. Aoli has several, but I think probably her greatest fear...
Groundbreaking fears.
Her greatest fear is probably attached to that Nazgul she's seeing. It's the one that sets up in Minas Morgul,
Oh.
and because it's close, and she can see Minas Morgul from Edoras, at a certain point in the story, it becomes important because there's a certain part in the story where it's just a crippling thing that she's got to
A
overcome.
crippling fear.
Yeah. Is your original character social or antisocial?
Althea would have probably have preferred to be antisocial, but with everything going down, she didn't have a choice. And Amara was originally social before everything with her research went down, and now she wants to be antisocial, but her love interest refuses to let her be antisocial. At least not without him. So... And he always uses the Emperor against her, which I guess is another one of her annoyances, is that she doesn't want the Emperor being used against her in that fashion. And she's so fucking sick of it.
Aeoli is quite social. My Stardew Valley farmer is mostly antisocial, but only just, except for when she meets Sebastian, and then she thinks it's hilarious how antisocial he is, and then she ropes in. Oh my, what have you done?
Calm down.
She ropes in all of the younger people in town to bring him out of the basement.
Wow. Figures. Can't even let the man be antisocial. Jesus.
No, I can't let him be antisocial until I've got him in my house, and then he can be antisocial again.
Okay. Yep. Fair enough.
Do you know what excites your original character?
Althea is always excited about new knowledge she's not gained yet. So when her love interest agreed to teach her about technology and mechanics, she was floored. Like, you know how I get excited about seeing new animals and like wildlife and I just want a picture? Think of that, but like 10 times worse.
Okay.
And then Amara, if her research is brought to light in a positive way, because it's happened later in the story when she develops more with her character, she can go on for a long time about the good uses and what she had originally planned to use the research for. So that excites her.
So Aeoli is a very practical person, and she's not excited about much, but she is very food driven. So she gets excited about her favorite foods.
Oh man, speaking of favorite foods,
quite
I'm
easily.
getting kind of hungry myself.
I know, me too. My Stardew Valley character, on the other hand, is a very excitable person, and she gets excited about most things, as long as they're related to her chosen profession, or somebody talking about her grandpa, or animals, or food, or Sebastian, or the mine, or hacking, which she loves very dearly, or
of course,
anything having to do with computers or engineering, or as she's quite excitable.
Of course.
It doesn't take much. Okay, that's the end of this category.
Wow.
So I think we should just call it here.
Yeah.
I'm going to make myself a note here that this is where we ended it.
It's very important. Honestly, I might actually change the pose of Whitney's original character in this piece because, first off, she looks very manly and I hate it. And, secondly, the pose doesn't feel right to me. And no matter how many times I try to change it, it's not working out. So I think I'm going to change the pose.
You need a copy of this list? Okay. I can do that.
Wind in Her Hair. I really enjoyed reading Erin and Whitney's OC answers. So thank you for that. That was a nice little like. Anyway, okay, Whitney. Fuck. Okay, Jessi.
I am Whitney now. Sorry, Whitney. You are no longer Whitney. I don't know who you are.
Who are you? Who are you, people?
Well, thanks, guys, for coming out to stream today. I hope you had fun. This was, like I said, a lot of fun for me to make. And I hope the second half is just as enjoyable as the first half. The next category is morals, so that should be interesting.
Oh man. That will be definitely interesting for my character.
Okay. Well, we don't have stream next week because Mel has a thing.
Yeah, I do have a thing.
Yeah.
It's a very
What's
wonderful
your thing, man?
Next weekend is my first convention of the year. It is Anime Gaming Con in Fresno. It's at the Fresno Fairgrounds. So if you're in the area next Saturday and Sunday, February 1st through the 2nd, Whitney and I will actually be there. And I'm very excited because I have new product coming in, debuting for that convention. And I'm very excited for said new product. So I really hope I see some of your darling faces there to visit and say hi, if nothing else. That will go... I will have all the details up by next week. I already know where I'm going to be, so it could actually be very well on Monday when I send out the information, and then I'll just reiterate the same information on Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, I'm like super excited for this event because of the new product coming in. If you are part of the Confab Discord server, you get the exclusive look from, me. You could go to the website too to get all the information. But on the Confab Corner, I like to post the guest list of conventions I go to. And one of the more prominent voice actors coming in, and I'm very excited about this, is Johnny Young Bosch. He's going to be at Anime Gaming Con next weekend, if all things go good. Because sometimes VAs have to just, they have to cancel last minute for emergencies. But anyway, I hope that doesn't happen. So I'm very excited for him to be there. There are a couple other very notable voice actors going to be there. All of the guest list for this convention will go up on Confab Corner during the week, so you should definitely join us. And if that doesn't really float your goats, you could also join for the interactive chats, the bot games, live doodle times, which I do something similar to this, except that you can join me in voice chat and we can actually have a verbal conversation, and watch parties and game nights. So there's things to do in Confab Corner. You should definitely join. And if Discord is just not your thing, I'm also on Facebook and Instagram at Melslog. I do post art and reminders of panel protagonist streams and where I will be in the wild, among other things. Confab Corner does get an exclusive first look at new artwork that I create, but Instagram and Facebook will also see it in coming days. I'm not nearly as active on Instagram and Facebook as I would like to be, but I am doing my best. There's always a post at some point during the week, if not most of the days. So definitely follow me there. I will always update everybody where I will be in the wild and panel protagonist streams. That will always be there no matter what on Facebook and Instagram. You ready, Jess?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. We will see you not next Saturday, but the Saturday after. We're not going to continue our writing exercise then. We're actually going to pick up the stream that I was supposed to do last week, where hubby decided he wanted to drunk rent a hotel room and we were just going to have fun. And I'm glad he did because I had a blast. I had a fucking blast. So we're going to pick up Ark Survival Evolved with a comparison to Ark Survival Ascended. Not next week, but February 8th, right? February 8th?
Yeah, I think that's the date.
Yeah. So it'll be the Saturday after the 1st. We will return with our Ark stream. We will, at some point during the year, have the writing exercise again. So I hope you guys can come back for that and give us your answers to the other questions. And with that, we will bid you adieu. Jessi, are you ready? Jessi?
Yes.
Pilot protagonists out! Bye!
Goodbye!